Donna LaFortune. I'm Donna Vera. This is April 14th, 2021. Donna is part of our BE collection. So, welcome.
Thank you.
For coming. It's good to see
pleasure.
you.
Yeah, it is great to see you guys, all of you. It's wonderful.
So the first question is, where were you born?
Leominster, Massachusetts, the home of the Pink Flamingo and John Chapman, the real life Johnny Appleseed.
And Donna LaFortune.
And me. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. But we moved out here when I was almost 2.
Uh-huh.
So
when you say we, do you have
my
siblings?
mom and dad and I'm the youngest of 8,
Wow.
and there were still 7 there. One had died in 1939. I never knew her, but the rest, my dad drove them out in a Woody, and my mom and I flew out.
Don't you wish you had that? A Woody.
Oh God, yes. I wish I had Templeton. You know how much those went for now?
Woo.
Anyways, yeah, so we came out here because my dad delivered bread in the snow, and in New England that's pretty hairy. Mm-hmm. So, but you know, it was an easy move for me, but not so much for the rest, especially the high schoolers. So.
So then, where did you go? To California?
You're in Los Angeles.
Right in LA.
Yeah, not maybe 8 miles away in El Sereno. Went through school there to 8th grade, and then we moved to Temple City for high school. Mm-hmm. And
when was the first time you were aware that you were interested?
Well, for sure.
I mean, the first time you got an inkling of your sexual preference.
Well, you know, I was at the CYO, you know, the catechism, and there's this one gal that went to high school with me, and she said hello, and I went,
hello.
We were both sophomores, and we really fell in love. But then her mother found our notes and stuff, and she went on. She has 2 children, one of whom is a lesbian.
Interesting.
Huh. And but that's when I went back to dating boys, and 2 of my best girlfriends also during that time, they became beauticians. And when I ran into them at our 50-year reunion, I said, you know, if you 2 couldn't have turned me straight, nobody could. We all laughed. So it was shortly after high school that I went, you know, the boy thing, they're not awful. I don't hate them. They're just not a match. So that was about 68.
Was your family aware of this?
Oh, yeah. More my mom, because she also was very upset about the relationship with Judy. That was, but, you know, I didn't do anything in high school, and then I found other people to be around. And my best friend, one of my best friends in high school also talked about being a lesbian, but she never said she was until much later, because she was going with our high school PE teacher.
What year was this?
68.
Okay. 68, 70s.
Yeah, and we also went to a coffee house over on Melrose and Fairfax that was run by lesbians.
What was the name of it?
The Garret. And you can still look me up on Google and find pictures of us.
Really?
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, so, but it wasn't like up front, but they were all lesbians that were running it. And so it was just an undertone.
Yeah.
So.
After high school, what did you do educationally?
Well, not much for a couple of years. I got the kind of jobs you get without any real training. Now, oh no, I can't do this.
What job was that?
I worked in factories, and it was just so depressing. So I was almost 21, and I said, I've got to do something. And I didn't know what, but I knew I didn't want to work in factories and do those kinds of jobs.
Were you still living with your family?
Oh, no. I moved out when I was 18 and a half-ish. Found girlfriends, you know, I was really I was really thin and cute and available, so whatever. So that was fun. But
So you went back to school then?
I took myself back to school because by then my parents had retired.
Uh-huh.
And so I had to use the system, the work study and grant thing. And
Did you have a goal then,
No.
educationally? No,
No.
just went back to school.
just, it was one way to not have to work in factories anymore. It was awful. It was so boring.
Mhm.
So I graduated from Cal State LA in 75.
Mhm.
And during that time, they even started a gay student union.
Hmm.
But by then, when I was still at PCC, I had to do some volunteer work,
Uh-huh.
and I went to a junior high school, and I thought, this is okay. On this side of the desk, I like it because I never really liked school.
Mm-hmm.
So then I thought, well, I'll teach.
Mhm.
I'll teach special ed, or I'll teach PE. Well, there was this one instructor at PCC who said, if you're going to be in PE, don't ride your motorcycle, of course, which I had one, to school. And it was like, ooh. So I went for elementary because I didn't want to, get more. But then I was a pre-teaching major at Cal State LA, and I graduated, and then the post-grad work was mostly doing student teaching.
Mm-hmm.
But I would never have gone to the gay student union. I mean, that was too,
Exposing.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but I heard about it, but I was like, And it's also, I got my credential the same year, Anita Bryant and Briggs.
Really?
Yes.
Right.
So that I knew Tip
Right.
a lot because there's just no way,
That was the Briggs Initiative, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all coming down when I got my credential.
Mm-hmm. Did you have to take an oath that you were not a
No.
lesbian, homosexual? Okay.
No. No, because I even when I taught in
It's
two
a little
different,
later than 70s. So some of that
Yeah.
sexual freedom stuff is already in process.
yeah, but it just, I didn't know we were all free. But I didn't feel free. I felt like, boy, I better be under the radar.
Right.
And the first job I got that was full-time, not subbing, was at a Catholic school. And man, I had to be real quiet there too.
Mm-hmm.
And the gal I was with at the time, we broke up just when I started there.
Mm-hmm.
Scary. And but I started working with a wonderful girl named Marge.
Hmm.
She and her husband was an intern over at Children's Hospital, and we just clicked.
Uh-huh.
And I came out to her
Mm-hmm.
at the spaghetti factory in Hollywood.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, because I thought I just have to,
Tell somebody.
because I wanted her to be my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I did see her a couple of years ago, pre-COVID, where, she came out here and I saw Bob and little Tommy that she had. It was, big Tommy. And, but that was real scary because I didn't know how safe I was. Had a few jobs with public schools, a private school, even worked in Compton for a couple of years. And then I applied and and that was scary in Compton, kind of. It wasn't safe,
Uh-huh.
but it wasn't the lesbian thing. It was just Compton.
Were you teaching? What were you teaching?
Well, there,
Uh-huh.
see, I would always volunteer for PE because I liked teaching it, but I didn't really have the credential for it. So that's what I was teaching there. But then I went to El Monte, and I lived out the rest of my career there at El Monte City Schools, but never had legal protection for my credential and my job until 1995.
Mm-hmm.
When
It's a long time.
yeah, that was, and that still didn't mean I came out, but at least I wasn't. It's kind of like getting the vaccine now,
Who knows? But
yeah,
it's better than nothing.
because everybody knows, but nobody ever, said anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I didn't make up stories. I just talked about my life, but I didn't.
I think for a teacher too, it's really a very sensitive area, even now.
It is,
Uh-huh.
and you know, I made sure that I followed all the regulations that the men would have to. I never like was in with kids or one kid with the door
By yourself,
closed, and
right.
yeah, it just,
Makes
I
good
just.
sense.
But a lot of people question me, how can you do that? And I said, when I'm there, that part of me isn't out.
Right, you're a teacher.
I'm a teacher. This is what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the good luck to work with a very nice man. And he and I were best of buddies, same age, same background.
Mm-hmm.
And
It was an El Monte.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And so I've kept him and just Marge and another gal that I started out there with as still good friends
Mhm.
that I see and talk to and whatever. So everybody knew, but nobody ever said anything. And why would I?
What would you advise young women today interested in your profession in terms of being out or?
You know, you've got protection now, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, once that kind of stuff gets into the kids, I think with the little kids, it's not as big of a problem. Junior high, which became my favorite.
Uh-huh. Did you teach athletics then, or what did you?
Oh yeah, I taught lots of things:
Uh-huh.
math, social studies, science,
You were
PE.
adaptable.
Yeah, it was fun. But I don't know. You know, kids are kids, and rumors and
Parents
things,
are parents.
and parents are parents. I never had that word said to me. It was never thrown at me,
Mm-hmm.
ever, anywhere, by a kid or an administrator or a parent.
So what are you doing now?
Now I'm retired happily,
Uh-huh.
traveling with my rather new love, and you know, we're getting ready now to, with COVID getting,
Lighter.
yeah,
Mhm.
we're gonna start doing things.
Great.
She's never gone anywhere, and I've gone many, many places, so.
You'll be able to show her the world,
Absolute.
the country. Do you
Well,
go to those lesbian camps, the motorhome camps?
Yeah, well, I belonged to Rainbow RV for a long time. And I was in, they call themselves the Lolos.
I've
Little
heard
old lesbian, little old lesbians on wheels.
that. Right.
They had so many rules.
Do they?
Yeah. You get fined if you don't have your name
Really?
tag on. Yeah, I was like, the gay guys are a little loosey and goosey, and so I preferred them. But I just don't think anybody's sexuality has a place in a public school or a private school.
Mhm.
You know, you are what you are. I'm still in touch with a class that I had in '86 in a Catholic school. They're almost all now turning 50, but we are still all friends on Facebook.
That's
Still doesn't come up. Doesn't need to.
No,
No. And
it's who you are.
exactly. And so,
Sort of like the color of your eyes. It's-
exactly, yeah. So, you know, I know a lot of people when they come out later, they're like, well, I'm going to show the world and tell the world. Well, okay, go ahead.
Just sort of be.
That's what I always thought was the best for me, and the constraints of my occupation was to just try to be the best me of me and let it be.
Mhm.
I have a nephew who's almost 30. He cannot fathom how I can't come out. But
You're out. You're doing this. Come on,
Yeah.
you're out.
Well, he's gonna love that I did this. But he's always like, you know, what are you afraid of? And you're not even working. It's there's a comfort level
But
for me.
you're not pretending.
I never did pretend.
Right. You are who you are.
Yeah, and it's just, this is what I do. And this is who I am. And
Was there any person that inspired you along the way, or
to do what?
like a role model, or?
Well, I spent a lot of time trying to be like Leave It to Beaver's teacher, and like the one on Little House on the Prairie.
There you go.
And that was mammothly horrible because that's not me. And I got to talk to the actress one time from Little House on the
Oh, did
Prairie.
you?
I said, you really inspired me. I want to be as sweet as you. She says, well, those were Michael's words.
I was acting.
Yes, she was acting. I said, well, I did learn patience and stuff that I needed to learn from some of those, but lesbians don't connect well in schools, and especially the PE ones.
Do you think it's because of the fear of exposure?
Oh, yeah. They all get their nails done, and they look really butchy. Yeah.
With nails done.
Yes. And they, like when I go to a conference or something, they wouldn't even say hello. They certainly.
Their nails done.
Yeah. So I call them the fingernail lesbians. But they don't even come out to us, who it's obvious, but they don't. So that's a whole subgroup.
It is. I didn't know about that.
Oh, yeah. A friend I have now, Angie, she worked in my district for a while, and I said something about those fingernail lesbians. She goes, oh, yeah.
She knew exactly what you're talking about.
And she knew who I was talking about.
Really.
So it was really, we both kind of had a chuckle over that. But if you go to a PE conference, you've got the straight women who are just whatever they are. You've got the lesbian PE teachers that are whatever they are. And then you've got this fingernail group.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta remember.
Yeah.
See, this is educational now. Right?
But it's really real.
I believe it.
And
so what kind of legacy do you want to leave? The Donna LaFortune.
I hope I made it tough enough to educate the kids. I just wanted them to, I even made
Feel safe, maybe?
feel safe and feel treasured.
What a nice word.
And I wrote my own mission statement, and that was to enable them to take care of themselves and others forever. I wasn't there to teach them just PE or just math. I really wanted them to, I wanted to teach the whole child.
Broader spectrum.
Yes. The group I had, my second Catholic school was in Covina. And now it's been like 10 years ago, but I'm friends with most of that class. And on my birthday, they all the ones that are on Facebook wrote how special I was for them.
When's your birthday?
July 26th.
Oh, coming up.
Yeah. And to have them do that was just, because I really think I did it. But you never know.
No.
Until you run into them later and you go, oh my goodness. Yeah. But I found out the lady that was my travel agent was the mother of one of those students.
Small world.
It is. So I loved that class because they were the problem class, and I just loved them. And
They knew it.
Apparently. And that was the year my dad passed away, was when I had them. And so we got really close after that. So can I just go on about something? Because this is kind of neat. My dad died on a Thursday night, and so I, of course, took off Friday, and then the whole next week I took off. And then I went back to school. And, man, I was, those kids are crazy. They're all acting crazy. And by Thursday of my first week back, it was lunchtime, and they had lost every privilege.
Really?
And at lunch I thought,
You're scared.
what am I doing? Are they really all that bad? Or am I the one that's having some trouble? And when they came back from lunch, I said, in our society, when somebody dies, you're supposed to cry and then get over it.
Go on.
And you know what? I realize I've been doing that. It's not working. And I've taken a lot out on you. So if you can just cut me some slack, everything's back. And I think that's what really cemented us as a group.
Right.
Because
the teachers don't come to the student like that. So that was your gift to them.
I always tried to do that
that's right.
because But that was just a real wake up, that aha moment. I was like, they're not that bad.
Mhm.
I'm just not ready, and I'm not going to be ready for a few months, you know.
That's right.
And so, but yeah, it's. But I really enjoyed all of that.
You're a great teacher.
Thank you. I hope so.
I know so. You seem happy, which is nice.
Oh, I am very happy.
Yeah.
I'm relaxed.
Right.
I'm comfortable now in my own skin.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm happy. I did the right thing. I took care of myself so that, you know, I put enough money away. My house, I paid it off.
That's good.
And so when you're the youngest, you watch all the mistakes the older ones make and you go, oh, I'm not doing that. So, yeah.
But I'd like to say thank you for being here.
Oh, you're
This
welcome.
is for you. This is
Oh,
from us.
thank you.
Huh?
How sweet.
Probably goes with it.
Oh, thank you.